Coach, any changes to your lineup tonight from Buffalo?
No.
Goaltender of choice?
Forsberg will go.
Can you offer an update on Thomas Chabot and Matt Murray?
Neither will play this weekend. We'll reevaluate Monday and see for Tuesday.
Does it help that you have that 3 or 4 day break between Tuesday and Saturday of next week?
Yeah, for sure it does, but if they're 100%, they'll play. If not, they won't. So whether we got breaks or no breaks, I mean, it is good because you're going to start to get some guys healthy, and we'll get rested. I mean, I think this is 10 games. After the stretch, it'll be 10 and 16 or something like that, which you typically don't see, but we're starting to catch teams in games, so it'll slow back down to a regular NHL schedule.
Colin White close?
Yeah, timetable's still not there, though. He'll have to practice with us, and we'll see this week how he is.
DJ, with a lot more fans coming back tonight, are you guys looking forward to a more consistent? I mean, who knows what the pandemic's going to bring us in the next months and years, really. But are you looking forward to a more consistent atmosphere? And also, how has that emotionally been difficult on the players to go back and forth between big building, small building, a few?
Well, I think, we're better on the road right now with just energy. You know what I mean? And we need our fans. I mean, part of the home ice advantage is having your fans, and it'll be good to have more fans tonight and more as we go. And hopefully we can get rolling here.
DJ, do you have to have a conversation with Eric Branstrom after a night where he takes 3 minor penalties? Do you have a conversation with him after that in particular?
No. I talked to him, after his second penalty in the first, but part of young guys learning is them knowing, if they don't know, you have to have a talk. But he knew, and he knew that, they weren't good penalties. I mean, if you're going to take them, they got to be hard penalties or maybe, questionable by the ref. But 3 of them, it's certainly not great. But like I said, if you had a great game, same thing today. We're going to turn the page and you get a fresh start. That's part of coaching young guys is they're going to have bad games. They're going to have bad shifts. They're going to do things that they shouldn't do. But getting them back out there to learn, getting them back out there, and let's see what he's got tonight. Let's see what he's got tomorrow night against New York. I mean, you're going to make mistakes as young guys. And I think so much is being made about, play young guys. They're going to make mistakes, and you got to live with them. And that's the only way they're going to get better.
What do you like about him with Artem Zub? And I know everything's a little bit up in the air without Thomas Chabot, but do you expect to maybe keep that pairing through the weekend here?
Well, they're going to have to be better than they were last game, or I'm not going to like them. I didn't think they were great the other night. I thought Holden was probably our best D there tonight, but they're going to go again here tonight, and I suspect they'll be good. But certainly having Shabby back, there's no mistake. Shabby's our 1D. And we'll see what we do with the pairings when we come back, but I suspect those 2 will be good tonight.
Sanford had that great goal against Buffalo, and you said that you would have had a conversation with him earlier in the day. What was that conversation?
Well, Sandy's a bit of an old school guy in the way that he wants you to get after him. He wants you to let him know when he's not going or when he's not playing hard enough or whatever the case is. And I hadn't done that. I kind of left him. He's an older guy. And we had a talk in the morning that I need more from him. I need more physically. I need more offensively. And I thought he brought it the other night. So, he's been around the league a long time, but I'll have to step on him a little more and make sure he's going. But we need him. With all the guys that we have out, you can't have an older guy not going, and he was going last game.
What do you need to do against Boston that you didn't do last week?
Well, the first period's key. The 22 shots in the first period, they just came out and we weren't ready. They're a north-south team that's going to check. They got Bergeron back. They're a good hockey team. So we have to get to their net as well. We did not get to their net at all. Yeah, I'd take nothing away from their goalie, shut us out, but we weren't on the goalie. We got to be a lot meaner. We got to be a lot more physical. We can be more physical, and if we're not, we won't get to the net and we won't make it hard on the goalie.
DJ, Mike Reilly's given you a lot of credit in terms of helping him get to the level where he's at in Boston. What did you see with your time with him that you got him to express more of his strengths?
I think Mike always had the clear mindset that he was an offensive guy, and everyone does. I played defense, and everyone wants to get points and what have you. But when you switch teams and you go to different teams and there's a better offensive guy than you or a guy playing ahead of you, what's going to get you minutes? And I think Mike was able to buy into what we were selling of learn to defend, learn to be hard defensively, learn to penalty kill, learn to do all these things. And I had a good relationship with him where I could tell him if he was good, bad, indifferent, and he didn't take it personally. You know, I think he knew it was coming from a good place. I wanted the best for him. You know, he had gotten as a high prospect coming out of college to the point where he was the 8th defenseman in Montreal, and he came here and I saw something really good in him, and I think he's a really good defenseman. I think he got what he deserved this summer. He got paid, and when we played him the other day, he was really good. And you know, it's just good to hear that a guy you had, you know, it goes on, and that's what you coach for. I mean, you want to win, but at the end of the day, you want to help guys. And Mike's one of those stories where hopefully he continues to play well. Maybe not tonight, but hopefully in his career he continues to play well.
DJ, tonight is game 100 in Tim Stutzle's NHL career. Just where have you seen the biggest growth from where you saw him, 14, 15 months ago to where he is today as a player?
I think defensively, probably. I think he's more aware in the face-off circle. He's more competitive. He's understanding the NHL game a little more. Some nights, no, but he understands that some nights there's just nothing out there, and you got to play a little simpler, and that just comes with time. I mean, he's had good games, great games, bad games, but we'll continue to play down the stretch here, and as we get some guys back, I think more depth will help because then he won't be going against the other team's top players every night.
Speaking of guys back, I heard Josh Norris was just skating the other day. What's the overall update on where he's at?
We're not sure. I mean, until he gets into a practice with us, we won't know. But he is skating, so that's a good thing. Timetable, we don't have one. I'm hopeful he's back sooner and later, but I don't expect forever, but I don't think he'll be back immediately.
You're not sure, is that just because the doctors are taking their time to assess, or?
Well, it's just his comfortableness. I mean, until he can get into practice and bang into people and do all these things, there's no point in thinking he can play. So until that happens, we can't take the next step. So we'll see. Hopefully he can get into a practice with us later in the week.